Most of us here in the U.S. enjoy the freedoms of the Second Amendment. I can wander around the state of Missouri and carry virtually almost everywhere I go. But there are several people throughout this country, because of the states they reside in, are really having their constitutional rights withheld. But the Supreme Court, I believe, is going to make some major changes any day now. So what we're going to take a look at is we're going to take a look at the 6 states that are going to be most influenced by the Supreme Court Second Amendment decision in New York Rifle and Pistol Club versus Corlett. Number 1, Massachusetts. Massachusetts is absolutely awful when it comes to the Second Amendment. You have to have a permit to buy. You have to have an owner's license. And concealed carry permits are required, and open carry is illegal. This is really just awful. It completely just ties the hands of law-abiding citizens when it comes to their rights to defend themselves. And not just constitutional rights, but God-given rights as well. Number 2, Maryland. Maryland is just awful as well. Everything that Massachusetts does, Maryland does, except they make you register your handguns. So literally, as it is a federal law to not register any guns, they're registering guns in Maryland. Number 3, New Jersey. Now, New Jersey is awful as well. New Jersey is beautiful everywhere other than by New York City, but you can't really even drive through the state with your firearms. It's so restrictive. They don't even let you pump your own gas in New Jersey. So this is, what they're doing in the Second Amendment. It's really just kind of taking any sort of freedom that the people might be able to have to defend themselves, especially in the areas around New York City, and essentially just tell them they cannot do that. Number 4, Hawaii. Hawaii recently has kind of almost assumed they're their own country and they're just doing their own things. Yes, they're geographically very separated, but they're very much tied to us as a state. And clearly, they're pretending to be more like a different country, more so a communist country. Citizens of Hawaii not only do not have really any freedoms when it comes to being able to carry a gun, the type of guns they can have. You have to register things. You have to have a license to be an owner. You have to have a permit to carry, and good luck getting one of those. But there's nowhere else around there that you could go to enjoy those luxuries. So for example, if you were like in another state, you can go over state lines and you can maybe enjoy your Second Amendment rights over there. Hawaii, you're just stuck over there with all this awful, awful communist dictatorship laws bringing down on your state. Number 5, California. Of course, California is known as being one of the worst states for the Second Amendment. Every time that the federal government says you can't do this, California doubles down and does it even harder. It's almost like a stubborn child who, when you tell them, don't do this thing that hurts them, they just want to keep doing the thing that hurts them even more, just simply because you told them they couldn't. More so, most of the gun crime in America is taking place in and around California as well. But, law-abiding citizens don't have guns. Criminals do, though, and that's okay. Of course, movie stars and all the elite, they have bodyguards with guns as well. I'm sure you know that. Finally, number 6, New York. Of course, New York. This is what this case is all about. New York is really quite awful. I mean, they don't even let you buy big gulps. Like, they say you cannot drink more than 32 ounces of soda in New York City. There's only 2 ways you can carry a gun in New York City: illegally, or you have to prove that you are in some sort of danger and need a concealed carry permit, and only then, it's only temporary for that circumstance. So for example, if you have a stalker, you might qualify for a temporary permit. But once that case is over and maybe that stalker's in jail, your permit's gone. Or you might work at a store or something that's in a dangerous neighborhood. They might allow you to carry at that store only. That is it. That is literally it. And more so when you're transporting that firearm, you're not allowed to stop. If you stop for gas, you're a felon. You're literally not allowed to stop anywhere but your house and the range. Anywhere in between that, it's a felony. It's really quite awful, and can't wait to see the Supreme Court really just blow a giant hole in the corruption and the anti-Second Amendment efforts in these 6 states. Now, I'm sure there's a couple I missed. Put them in the comments below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. Feel called to support this channel through Patreon. That link is also below. But the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests, so please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.